Hi, my name's Amanda. I am a coach and a trance channel, and I've got something really interesting for you today. I was debating what to do next now that my Meet the Archangel series is done, and my higher self came forward and she's like, I've got an idea. I want you to channel me, and I want to revisit some of my past lifetimes so that I can bring forward some of what those experiences were like, what I've learned from them, and how I'm continuing to revisit some of those lessons. And so what you're about to watch is me channeling my higher self, revisiting a particular lifetime in Lemuria where an event took place that I think I'm still working through some of the karma from that event in this lifetime. It's fascinating. I think you're going to get a lot from it, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Please enjoy. If you really like this and you're dying to know what some of your past incarnations were, what some lessons you might still be working on in this lifetime are, or anything else that you've always wanted to know, I do these higher self healing portal sessions where I trance channel your soul and give you an opportunity to ask them anything that you want. They are truly unique, and they are incredibly healing and incredibly insightful and informative. And if you are all curious about booking one in for yourself, visit my website, amandalaurenblau.com, under the tab Higher Self Healing Portal, and you'll find all the information there.
I'm very excited about what I plan on bringing forward for you today, as I do not believe that it's going to be an experience that you will have had before. But I came forward to Amanda a little while ago as she was deciding what to do next now that her series with the archangels was coming to an end. And I proposed the idea that I could be the next one to come forward and share my wisdom with all of you. For I have been alive for a very long time, longer than many of you. And I say this just as a matter of fact, that I have experienced many things, and I have accumulated a lot of information in my relatively short time in existence. And I say this in jest because in certain capacity, I am only just beginning. But I desire to bring forward much of what I have learned in my many incarnations throughout my lifetimes, as I believe that many of you will find resonance in the stories I have to tell you and the lessons that I plan on instilling inside of you that I have learned along the way. And I decided to start today with a recounting of one specific lifetime in Lemuria, because it was a lifetime that I cherished above many others. And there are many similarities between this lifetime and that, but also because there is one lesson in particular that I'm still working through, and that I desire for Amanda to know on a more conscious level. And I believe that by sharing it with all of you, you will better understand the purpose behind the idea of reincarnation and what it really does to serve you in your own evolution. Lemuria was an existence that many souls decided to have and desired to have due to the availability of the soul to fully experience a lifetime in a physical reality while still being completely connected to their full conscious self in a way that this human existence doesn't provide for you. And I, in particular, decided to live out lifetimes in Lemuria so that I can become acquainted to what physicality on earth would be like. But knowing that I would be here with full access to my deeper knowledge and wisdom and connection all that is, was, and ever will be, provided me with a sense of confidence coming in that I required at that time. Because it was a new experience for me to be in such a low density. And I understand that my lifetime now takes precedent over that, in that I am working through an even more challenging existence at this point in time. But at that time, it is what I was ready for. And I was well known within my community as someone that brought with me many of my soul gifts, because I do not believe that I desired to leave any behind. And I quickly made a name for myself within the community as someone that could foresee much, much of what we could anticipate in terms of the weather, what to expect from day-to-day life, how to deal with illness, how to work through squabbles amongst one another. And I became known as the local wise woman who was able to create a sense of peace, prosperity, and love amongst the community that I helped to provide that for. And I took it upon myself to teach many of the women in our community how to do the same, because the gifts that I had access to were not for me alone. Each and every one of them had access to the same potential. They just didn't know how to foster their relationship with it. And one by one, I taught them how, so that they could move forward in their own way, feeling more connected inside of themselves, being able to make decisions from a place of trusting themselves. And I took deep pride in my ability to serve my community in this way. But there was a part of one particular lifetime that stands out to me as having been complicated. Because I could not provide in the way I desired to this time. I made a mistake. I didn't anticipate a massive storm coming through. And I think my judgment was clouded at that time because I was disturbed by something in my personal life that was distracting me. Some petty argument with my spouse was on my mind in a way that I couldn't focus like I typically do. And because of my lapse in judgment, many were hurt. Some did not survive, and only I was to blame. And this memory stands out to me, and it is something that I desire to bring forward at this time because I hold a lot of regret around being seen as someone that people looked up to for guidance and support. They trusted in me to lead them. And in that moment, I failed them. And I have been living with that shame for many lifetimes since then. And it is not something that I am consciously aware of from lifetime to lifetime, but it is a soul memory that lingers inside of me. because I haven't fully dealt with it yet. Desiring to be a leader within my community and failing at it. And many of you may be watching this and wondering, it's okay to make mistakes. It happens to all of us. How could you be carrying that shame with you for millennia? And to that, I ask you, where do you still carry much of your shame to this day? From not only lifetimes past, but this one. What are you still holding over yourself that you have not yet let go of, not allowed yourself permission to forgive? Part of the reason why I decided to come back in this lifetime and play the role of leader once more was to be able to do that for myself, to put myself in a position where others would look to me for guidance and support, knowing that I may steer them in the wrong direction once more. And perhaps this time I would be able to forgive where I have failed to do so in the past. And it is important for me to have this opportunity to try again, because that's what I desire for myself. I desire to experience a similar set of events and be able to operate inside of it in a new way, because this would allow me to access a different way of being that I could not access before. And if I am capable of doing that now, where I have failed to in the past, is that not growth? And is that not what we all search for inside of ourselves? Is a semblance of growth. My loves, that's what you came here for. Many of you, without realizing it, are reliving instances from your past over and over and over again through a similar lens, but a slightly different makeup, in order to give yourself a permission to make a different choice. And one choice is not better than the other. It is simply a different experience of you, which is ultimately what the soul is desiring. The experience of itself through many different facets in order to expand as a whole. And it is only until you have been able to experience yourself through every different capacity possible that you may decide that your time on this planet is no longer needed. And as a soul, look elsewhere for the next phase of your evolution. And I cannot speak for any of you. I can only speak for myself in this instance. And I do not believe that my time is yet complete in this lifetime or the next. But perhaps it is nearing its end in this physical world. And perhaps I will soon look elsewhere for the next phases of my evolution. But before I do, I desire to pass along my wisdom to all of you so that you may have the conscious awareness to do the same. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my wisdom with you. And this will not be the last. for I plan on regaling you with many of my tales through many of my lifetimes for the sheer amusement that it offers me. And I look forward to having this journey with you. Thank you for listening.